If you are at all familiar with what the background image of the thumbnail is from, then you might be led to believe, and you'd be correct in thinking this, that I have been I've been thinking a lot about Santa Clara Vanguard's 2018 show Babylon. I mean, especially the closer, it just does not get much better than that. And the hit in the ballad too. I mean, excellent arrangement of My Body as a Cage. Really good stuff. I've also been thinking about how it relates to competitive Pokemon, and as to why that is, I will leave that to the imagination of nobody, because no one's watching this, but that's okay. I got like 5 minutes into making this video, and then I realized my bookmarks bar was showing, and because I don't feel like putting everything in a folder, and I have a lot of bookmarks on my computer, I had to stop the recording and hide my bookmarks because I would get doxxed by said bookmarks. Now I could change the name of the bookmarks and everything, but I mean, it's also just easier to hide the bookmarks bar every time I record. But I'm a little irritated that happened. I was talking about, some teams I made before, and I'll get there, but yeah, I mean, that was annoying. Not to mention the fact that it took me so long to set everything up. I don't have any recording software. I just use the Xbox game bar because I have Windows OS, and so it's just sometimes really difficult to set everything up. Let me turn my fan up real quick. It's going, but it is just really hot in my room for some reason. But yeah, I mean, I don't normally like to go into I don't normally like to talk about my personal life on this channel, but this past week has been really bad for me. It's been horrible. I've been working, every waking hour of the day, and just all of these things have happened. It's just, and I haven't gotten to play Mons, so I just wanted to take this afternoon, sit down, do some team building, because I enjoy that, and just have a good time. Actually chill out for the first time in 5-6 days. But something else I said. This isn't it, but that might be it. But I also burned my tongue on some really hot food the other day, and I didn't know it was as hot as it was. So if I talk in a way, in such a way that would suggest that, then now you know why. I don't know, I feel like I said something else. I probably did. But yeah. Yeah, I guess I can't do much preamble anymore. I can still do preamble, because I was going over teams I made in DLC 2 Ubers before this video. And I personally think DLC 2 Ubers is really fun. I think Koraidon is a bit much. I mean, to say it should be banned to Ubers, or to ban to anything goes, I don't know, that might be taking a little too far, but I think Koraidon's kind of cringe. I don't have as much of a problem with Miraidon. But I mean, yeah, the tier is really fun. You can bring all sorts of play styles and, team structures and have them work. A lot of really cool sets and applications of stuff. I mean, when you have a Pokemon that can be any type, I mean, not accounting for Terra, it can be any type. I mean, that's pretty cool. But yeah, I think Ubers is pretty fun right now. It's the tier I've been playing the most recently. I've looked at UU once, I never played any games. I haven't seen any games of it, but I mean, from what I understand, it's just like screens offense plus Como-O, and like, that's not really my thing, as all 0 people familiar with my channel will understand quite well. Yeah, RU looks pretty fun right now. I played a few games of it in like mid-ladder. It seems to just be DLC 1 UU with a few new guys, and honestly, I'm all for that. I have no problem with that, believe me. You know, Salamence is down there. I don't know if you can hear the plane. It sounds like it's gonna crash into where I live, but shut the fuck up. Or you can't hear it, and I'm sounding schizophrenic. But what was I saying? Yeah, I mean, you know, Salamence is down there, Dawn Fan, Monkey Dory, Rotom Wash, a lot of cool guys down there. I haven't really looked at the other tiers, but I mean, yeah, I've just been playing Ubers lately. I haven't had as much time to play Mons, but I have been enjoying Ubers a lot. This was a Chen Pao team I made, probably a month ago at this point. I laddered up to around top 60 with it. So it did pretty well on the ladder. The idea is that you break down stuff like Necrozma, Duskmane, Crownzation, E-Killer, Arceus, and Ho-Oh. And then, you know, Chen Pao just starts ripping through teams, you know, late game. So, you know, you Swords Dance and you tear ice, and then all of a sudden Ice Shard 2 it KOs the cover legendaries after rocks. I mean, it's just insane, the damage output on this thing. Yeah, I mean, Duskmane for the Zacian and E-Killer, Ho-Oh for Koraidon, right? Arceus, Water. This used to be Fairy, but I decided Water was better for opposing Ho-Oh and Kyogre, because those were two matchups that were pretty tough. What is it? Fucking Offensive Eternatus? What? I said that weird. Offensive Eternatus was also a problem for this team. You don't see that too much, but I mean, this definitely helped with that as well. Spidef AV Treads, good for Miraidon. Nice removal for Chen Pao's Sash. This was originally boosted, but I decided Sash was better. Yeah, knockoff Volt Switch, nice utility. Miraidon gets rid of Ho-Oh and Kyogre and stuff. And then yeah, I will say I do like running Modest on Miraidon and Adamant on Koraidon, because I mean, 405 is such a common speed tier, and I don't like going for speed ties if I can help it, which I usually can. So, especially with the teams I make, kind of lend themselves well to not going for all those speed ties. I mean, before taking into account, you know, Modest versus Timid. And I mean, Scarf 369 is more than enough speed to get the jump on the tier. Yeah, I mean, Dazzling Gleam is filler, right? I never click it unless I'm really desperate to hit Koraidon for whatever reason. I don't know. I mean, it really just has 3 attacks, and that's all it needs. Yeah, Necrozma, you know, I think I EV'd it to never die to like +6 E-Killer EQ. Standard E-Killer EQ, mind you, so the one that's adamant. And then, you know, and then I put some attack in it so I can, like 3-8 KO it after rocks. Again, for standard E-Killer, which runs 200 HP in this meta. Rest into Spidef. I went with no Sacred Fire on this set, just because, not that I don't like Sacred Fire, it's just, I mean, not really using Ho for its damage output, and if you do want Ho to do damage, Brave Bird is generally more than enough. I mean, yeah, Sacred Fire and Sun is nice, but Brave Bird is a lot more consistent, and Will-O-Wisp, you know, I mean, you're looking at 85% burns as opposed to not even 50% burns accounting for Sacred Fire Miss. Earthquake for Eternatus that don't run Meteor Beam, and Clodsire, stuff like that. I don't know exactly what Earthquake was for. I mean, it's just good generally. I mean, it's Earthquake, come on now. Recover over Whirlwind. I don't think this team really needed Whirlwind support. But yeah, this is my team's pseudo Koraidon check, because as you will see, Koraidon, if you use it properly, has no switch-ins. No consistent switch-ins, that is to say. Water Arceus, like I said, Kyogre Answer, helps with Gliscor as well. That was also an annoying matchup for the team. Yeah, I forget exactly what these EVs do, but I mean, they're fine, right? The team is slightly weaker to Miraidon with this, but I mean, that's where Treads comes in, right? It still gets the Quark Drive defense boost, and I could make it especially defense boosting if I wanted to, but I don't want to, so I'm not going to do that, because Quark defense is actually pretty useful in some cases. You know, it's also a hazard remover that beats Clodsire pretty handily. So it's really nice. But yeah, that's the team. Like I said, I got to around like number 60 on the ladder with this, which for me is pretty solid. You know, anywhere in the top 100 is generally what I consider to be pretty good for any of my ladder runs. Yeah, I like the team. I used it for a while. And, you know, I like to think that I started a wave in the tier because, you know, after I first started using the Genpao team, I saw so many people running it. I thought that was so cool. Like, wow, you know, I mean, it's hard to say for sure, but, you know, maybe I started a trend in Ubers. Like, I'm an innovator? Like, what? That's crazy. That's really cool if that was the case. That's super sick. Next team I made was, well, this was the next team I made. It was a Banded Koraidon team, and let me show you why I wanted Banded Koraidon. So, and of course I did go with Adamant on Koraidon. Let me show you this calc. All right. Adamant into Ho-Oh. Dragon Claw 2 at KOs. Defensive Ho-Oh from Band Adamant. And if you really want to, you can go Jolly and still 2 at KO. Very comfortably. Right? It always 2 at KOs. I mean, unless they're running leftovers for no reason, but, you know, then you just set up rocks and say goodnight, Ho-Oh. Yeah. I mean, nothing switches into Banded Koraidon. It's a little hard to bring in, which is part of why this team didn't work in the first version of it. But, I mean, if you can get it in, you know, either your opponent has to get the play right, you know, or else they just lose a Pokemon. And sometimes they just have to pick a Pokemon to sacrifice anyway. Right? I mean, 3 stabs, it just hits so hard. I went for Close Combat over Collision Course. I think Collision Course is super overrated, because the way I see it, you know, if you have a fighting type, if you have a fighting weak Mon in, they're not going to stay in on a Koraidon, right? I mean, you could get a prediction, you know, be like, oh, they're going to switch into a Steel type on Dragon Claw. I'm going to Collision, like, no. Why do that when you can just... Like, Close Combat's just so much more consistent. Like, the 33% boost from Collision Course, it's about the same as Close Combat, right? Let's actually compare the two. Let's do a bit of a science experiment. Close Combat collision course. Oh, wait. Let's make some of those skill types. Yeah, it's not even that much more. Like, it's really not much more. That's actually, wait. That's actually so weird. I mean, I guess they rounded it here, but why is it that number? What? I was gonna say like, oh, maybe it's the digits of pi, but it's not. I don't get it. What? But yeah, I mean, close combat. It's just better overall. There was never a time where it's like, oh, I wish I had collision course. Like, the defense drop hardly ever mattered. I mean, after a close combat, I'm pretty sure... I mean, after a close combat defense drop, you should... Why... Oh, it's the second. Why is it the second target? Yeah, I mean, you live Terra Normal E-speed for me killer, right? The defense drop does not matter. You take out the... Oh, yeah. I guess I should do this. Like, ooh, need to... I mean, hey, I don't wanna get the 6.23, right? But yeah, so that was the idea. And then one of the earliest problems I encountered when making this team was I didn't know how to build around Banded Koraidon, because I mean, typically my thought process, right, is, you know, I pick a Pokemon that I think has some cool applications in a tier. I'm like, okay, well, how do I build to support? Like, so I think like, okay, what switches into Banded Koraidon and beats it? Well, nothing, right? Because nothing switches into Banded Koraidon. So I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna try and overload them with offense. And then I tried making this really bad offensive core with like Deoxys attack, which, I mean, for what it's worth, I think this moveset is pretty good. I know people like Shadow Ball. Just run Dark Pulse at that point. Alright, you're not gonna hit Koraidon that much harder. Well, I mean, I guess you are, but like, it doesn't matter, right? Just run Dark Pulse for all the fake ass. Well, no, I was gonna say fake normal types out there, but I mean, Killer is very relevant, as any Ubers player will know. Enough speed to outrun Zacian, rest in the special attack because it hits 400, and that's really cool. CM Ground Arceus, I know these EVs did something. I do not remember what they did. Kyogre, Scarf, and then like Gliscor, fucking Terrapagos. I actually used to think Terrapagos was really bad in the tier, but I've come around on it. I mean, it's... Right now, it's... Actually, no. I can go back to... Yeah, Terrapagos only had, you know, is that? Yeah, okay. Yeah, so it had like 5% usage. It used to be like top 10 in usage. You know, when the first DLC to Uber's usage stats rolled around. But that's because ooh, new Pokemon. Let's use it. I mean, anyone familiar with competitive Pokemon knows the phenomenon. Just want to look at these stats real quick. Arceus and Arceus. Oh, Jesus Christ! I feel like 31%. Cover Legendary breaking 50, NDM almost breaking 50. Zacian Crown 33. I feel like I don't see it that much. I mean, I see it on like a lot of teams, but 33%? Like, I don't know. Maybe. I don't know, maybe I'm just misremembering because it's been so long. Yeah. UA. I feel like I don't see it that much either. Oh, well, 15% of the time, that seems about right. That sounds right. Yeah. Well, okay, what's the real 10.3? Okay. Interesting. Yeah, getting back on track. So, Terapagos, I mean, Spin, Scorching Sands, Toxic Roar, I think this set is really good. Right. One cool application of Terra Shell is that it works for all hits of multi-hit moves. So, you know, Koraidon's Scale Shot, for example, or, you know, any Scale Shot, because there aren't that many multi-hit moves that you have to be aware of in Ubers. I mean, Scale Shot, you know, you resist all 5 hits of it from full. I wanted to go Boots on it, but Leftovers was just so nice. I didn't see Boots as being worth it. Sometimes it did matter, but I think Leftovers is better overall. Though you can definitely run Boots and get similar results with this set. Scorching Sands, Scald at Home, really good. If you want to be desperate against E-Killer, NDM, Kali Ice. Roar is also really funny for similar reasons. It deals with similar threats. Like, it's so funny to use. Like, I can't even describe it without showing y'all. No one's fucking watching this, what the hell? Although, no, there was that one guy that commented saying that I was good background noise, which, first of all, is a huge honor. I'll take that in stride. Am I using that? Raise cover? I'm not sure. So it might mean something else. And if it means something else, I know what it means, but whatever. But I mean, yeah, it's, like, especially defensive with Roars, just so nice. I mean, Toxic is good for, you know, being able to beat Ho-Oh, right, so it doesn't come in and just sit on you forever. Like, it's really nice. Sometimes you are wanting for a bit more physical defense. I mean, and obviously these... No, are these stats? No, these aren't the same stats as when it turns into the big turtle form. Yeah, no, because it has, like, 110 spit out when it turns into the big turtle. Yeah, I never find myself... I don't think I've ever terastallized Terapagos. I mean, it's obviously... Because the problem is it has to be Terra Stella. I can't make it like Terra Steel, I can't make it, you know, Terra Ghost. I can't do any of that. Right? That sucks. Sometimes I really wish I could. But, you know, fucking DLC gimmick, I don't know. Terra Stellar, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. Although I will say the Double Dance set, I think that's really cringe. Because it's, in my opinion, super matchup fishy, and you also have to hope your opponent positions poorly. Yeah. So this was the original version of the team. I got, like, no success with it. It was really bad. I didn't even crack top 500 with it. Yeah, this didn't work, so I went back to the drawing board and came up with this. So we still see the Banded Koraidon and then this Gliscor Terapagos core, which I really do like. The Gliscor was just a spike setter. The spikes were actually really useful. I mean, you'd think Stealth Rock would be good for, honestly, fuck knows. I guess, like, oh, after you knock it, but this team doesn't have knock. But we'll talk about the Ho matchup in a sec. Well, I mean, I guess I don't need to talk about the Ho matchup because I scrolled past the move stuff I have for Ho. But, I mean, yeah. U-turn, again, bringing Koraidon really important. Just letting it hit the field, right? Especially with spikes, right? Just nothing is gonna want to come in on Bandage Koraidon. I've seen people go Ho so many times thinking that they're safe, when in reality they eat a Dragon Claw and then realize that they are in fact not safe. I will say though, actually, let me double check this because I'm pretty sure it's true. Oh, Bandage? Terrifier Flare Blitz? Huh. Yo guys, Koraidon's really good. I don't like Swords Dance Scale Shot. I just don't. There's no like competitive reason. I know it's good. I just don't like it. There's nothing more to it. I just don't like the set. I think it's icky. But yeah. So I knew I wanted these 3 Pokemon. I thought they were pretty good. And they did end up putting in a lot of work. They pulled their weight and then some. And I'm going to get some more water. God. You know how sometimes you have that taste in your mouth that's like the inside of your mouth feels like you just woke up, but you have that feeling for the entire day? That's me right now. It's one of those days. I mean, I guess I am getting over some pretty bad congestion, but I don't know if that's why. Whatever. So yeah, I mean, drinking this water is not a very enjoyable experience because, like, the back of my throat's kind of scratchy, so to speak. It just tastes bad. I don't know why. It's like it's old water. But look at this text real quick. But yeah. Okay, so I don't know why the music did that. I like stopped for a second. So yeah, I paired it with Zacian because I felt like it was good for being able to kill stuff like Iron Bundle and really sticking it to Ho-Oh with Wild Charge, which does kill at +3, even defensive sets, which seems like it would be obvious, but I mean, just look at the Ho-Oh put in any amount of work and you'll see that thing is just insanely bulky. There's a reason it's used so much. Yeah. Number 5, 33%. Wow. I mean, that statistic is, it's not one of those cases where it's like, oh, it's got high usage, but it's not the most viable Pokemon out there. No, Ho-Oh's fucking cracked for a reason. Yeah. Like I said, don't like going for speed ties, so I 421. What? Okay. What hits? Wait, what? Why did I go 421 speed? Oh, I remember. I was gonna say, like, what did the tier hits? Like, what would that be? 141 speed. I mean, even that, like, base 141 would hit 421. I remember. It's Basculegion. Specifically, Scarf Basculegion. I mean, if it's Swift Swim and Rain, I can't do much about it. But, Basque Legion, of all things, was giving this team some problems. And I initially had it to just speed creep Iron Bundle, but and I didn't put it on Wild Charge just for Basque Legion, make no mistake. But yeah, this is for Scarf Basque Legion because it was giving me problems, and it only hits 428 speed stat after a choice scarf and a speed boosting nature. So I didn't want to get Last Respect swept. So yeah. And you might be thinking like, oh yeah, you just need some better speed control. Like, okay, trust me, we'll get there. We will get there, believe me. I mean, but they should be fine for Basque Legion. I couldn't go Adamant on it, because that hits 52 EVs. That. Yeah, 395, which is not enough. But yeah, I was originally Terra Fire for Ho-Oh, but there were times where I wanted Terra Fighting for close combat, so I went Terra Fighting for close combat. It is kind of a hard decision to make. You kind of want to have both. Obviously, you can't, because, you know, Terra is balanced, you know, so it's clearly balanced because you can't become a different dual type, right? But yeah, I mean, Zacian Crowned, just really good. It can just run away with games if your opponent doesn't have the proper measures to deal with it. Yeah, this Spadef is actually really useful. I think I tanked like a Life Orb Miraidon Electro Drift. I don't know why I'm trying to recite these calcs from memory. Well, this is just Zacian Crowned. 2. Yeah, and then right on. Like, it must not have been. I know it can take. I know it takes Choice Scarf, Electro Drift. I mean, yeah. Also, Taunt Miraidon is a really bad set. Don't use it. Because you still get beaten by stall teams anyway if you run like these moves, like Blissey and Quasar just come in anyway. I don't hate U-turn on Miraidon. Personally, I don't run it, but I hate it. I think it's definitely got its place. And who knows, I might run it at some point. But yeah. I mean, the 52 EVs allows it to take Miraidon Electro Drift, whereas otherwise it would have a risk. It would run the risk of being dead to Electro Drift after spikes, and I think rocks. Because what is it? Yeah, it goes down to 12.6. Okay, so that'd be like 93.75. Okay, yeah. So I guess Electro Drift never kills after rocks, but after spikes, it's a lot more comfortable, right? 18.8% chance to, you know, yeah. Which I will say, I bring that up because that has mattered. That has mattered. Like, you know, come on, you can live this roll. Who hit the 7 out of 8, right? Yeah. So then I decided I would use a set that good friend Brady put me on to. Scarf Walking Wake Photosynthesis Speed, which is blazing fast. It outruns. It doesn't outrun +2 Koraidon. So if it gets to that, if it comes to that, I just kind of look at myself in the mirror and think about how bad I am for letting Koraidon get set up that much. But it's a really good lead option because a lot of people lead Koraidon into this kind of thing, like oh, I can get off a free attack, but no. I mean, I'll lead Walking Wake, they see the Photosynthesis Speed, and it's like, okay, well, I'm you know, if they're Scarf, they're like, oh, I outrun this, but they don't know that I'm God, wow. me. I actually stacked my headphone mic. I don't know if this is. I don't think this is captured. Not I don't know that. But yeah. Excuse me. So yeah, I mean, you know, they see the pro synthesis speed, think I'm specs. They try to beat me with their Scarf to ride on, and then I Draco them, hope I don't miss, and then gain. It also has filtering to bring in to ride on. I will say, I have lost games because of Draco misses. The one stipulation of this Pokemon, Draco Meteor is not 100% accurate, right? Everyone knows that. I mean, literally everyone knows Draco Meteor is 100% accurate. Like, even just newborn infants know that. Terrifier, Flamethrower, really sticks it to Zacian if you need it to. Just pretty good overall. And then Arceus Fairy. It's a good blanket answer to the cover legendaries if you really need it. And, you know, like if you have one slot and you can't run, you know, Ho-Oh and Tinglu on the same team, you know, Arceus is generally pretty good. I like a especially defensive set with these EVs because, you know, it has enough speed to outrun Terapagos. Taunt is really useful. I originally had Judgment Earth Power because Fairy Ground is really good coverage. And it allowed me to beat Clodsire a lot more often, but I realized I had Gliscor, and I also struggled to beat Ho-Oh, so I put Power Gem on Arceus, which didn't hit it too hard. It definitely, I mean, even 2 KOing defensive Ho-Oh is risky if memory serves. It's very zero switch modest. Yeah, I mean, right, it's not going to be doing too much, but it gives this team some recourse against Ho-Oh to where it can't just come in and sit on Arceus forever. Yeah, so, you know, if it comes in on Gliscor, I U-turn out. If it comes in on Terapagos, I Toxic, and now I have something to do if it comes out on Arceus. It doesn't really love dealing with, you know, Zacian after Swords Dance, so I can walk away. So, you know, Power Gem over Earth Power made the Ho matchup a lot better. I never got up too high with this team. I never really made a huge push with this or anything, but it performed solidly at mid-ladder. It definitely did pretty well around, like, you know, high 1400s, low 1500s. So, yeah, I liked it a lot. And, yeah. So those are the teams I've made. And I've been talking for 40 minutes. Holy hell. I haven't even started building. Duh. God. You know, I'm gonna extend this even more. I'm gonna extend this preamble even more. I'm just gonna take a quick stretch because it's important for me to take care of my body so my body can take care of me. Alright, get some water, then get to the building. As you can see, I have a couple ideas right here, and I'll go into them more as time goes on. Or as I get to said ideas, rather. Okay. Oh, also, if you're wondering about this team right here, I just threw it together super quickly. Like, I didn't really ladder up too much with the team. Just threw it together for some, I don't remember what. But yeah, okay. So the first idea I have, turn down the music a little loud for me. Yeah, so the idea here is Specs Fluttermane. So, I don't have a lot of faith in this set, but I'm gonna try and build around it because I've run the numbers. You know, I've talked about it with some people. It looks pretty good on paper, but I don't know how good it'll be in practice. And then 369, we hate going for speed ties here. Special attack, photosynthesis into sun. Pair it with Rhydon because, of course. And that was about all I thought about for this kind of team. I wanted to work on it more, but I also wanted to save a lot of the process for this video, which I had to delay quite a bit. Yeah. So I mean, this is meant to be Terra Ghost, by the way. This is on purpose. Just so Shadow Ball gets that much harder. I think it's what, like 405, 607 after spec, and then plus proto is like closer to 800 special attack, right? I mean, this is Rhydon levels of power. Yeah. I mean, Rhydon is slightly more powerful because Choice Banded Sun, its attack is 809. So, that's only because it's like 1.333 times. And then it's like 1.3 times. Yeah, I could run Scarf. I don't know, I'll kind of figure that out later. Yeah, so Rhydon's good. Yeah, I mean, so I guess this team wants something for Fairy Arceus and Kyogre. I could run Rhydon. I don't hate that idea. Yeah, I could run Rhydon. This is looking very pre-home. Pokemon below S are not currently ranked within their own tiers. Well, I mean, this is already alphabetical, but this is also probably the order of viability. Yeah. Oh, not Agua Berry or Rhydon. Yeah. What else? What else could this team use? It could use some removal. Or I could just run boot spam like everyone else does. Definitely could. I guess I also have Terrain Thunderbolt. By the way, Spec Proto Thunderbolt does to it KO Ho-Oh. I checked. It does in fact kill it to it KO's Ho-Oh, so I could use an E-Killer answer. NDM would probably be good. I don't know if I want like a Dragon Dance set or what. I probably want to run Dragon Dance. I don't think the team really needs that kind of support. Then I don't know. I'm feeling quirky. What do I want? I guess the better question is what Arceus form am I going to use? They're doing Tingloo. kind of want to try Teambuilding, just because the team doesn't love taking on. It doesn't love switching into Maridon right now, and this also gives the team a better. It gives the team a better chance against stall and like those kinds of balanced teams, and Tinglu typically helps with that. So, none of these Pokemon are rock weak. I could run no removal. I guess I could. I would just have to be careful about hazard stack teams. Any like taunt users I could fall back on. Oh, yeah, get a load of this. This is really funny. Iron Bundle is C+ in viability. I think the VR Council is full of some pretty qualified players. I don't think any of them are like stupid or anything. But putting Iron Bundle in C+, putting it lower than Toxapex, then Arceus Ghost, lower than Zekrom, lower than fucking Basculegion. That's insane. There's nothing in the game that resists Iron Bundle's stabs, and I think it's so underrated. Which is why, I have a team with it that I'm going to use. Like, spoiler alert, but. I mean, what switches into this, right? What actually switches into this? I guess, like, Spidef Arceus Fairy. I mean, that's built around, and I probably have... Yeah, I have Ho-Oh, right? I'd probably put NDM on the team as well. Yeah, I mean, that's just insane. It's in the same rank as King Gambit. What? Like, I get they're not ordered by viability within their own ranks, but it's so insane. It's so insane that the quality was probably really bad for a few minutes there, because I wasn't sitting forward, so to speak. I was sitting back. But yeah, I mean, Iron Bundle is not C+. Also, Iron Treads isn't C-. Walking Lake is... Some of these I really don't agree with. Yeah, some of these are real bad. For example, I don't think Landorus Therian is B+. It's definitely not true. But I'm getting distracted. What else is new? I could run Arceus on this team. Team doesn't love switching into Koraidon. I could throw Ho-Oh on, because people don't understand how unwallable Band is. Skeletor is just poor man's Ho-Oh. I don't understand why people still use Skeletor. And I see it. I see it around sometimes. Like, why? Why are you using Skeletor? This is good. This is good, because like I have knowledge of the tier, so this is good, because like I can actually, say, hey, this is the kind of knowledge I had of the tier, the inner workings of, and some of the finer details of Cougars. One is the last. kind of torn between like Fairy Arceus and Ho-Oh. I think of Fairy Arceus. Am I weak to Zacian? A little. I'm a little weak to Zacian. Yeah, I'll go Ho-Oh. Yeah. The team looks pretty standard. I mean, Bikes, NDM, Ho-Oh. Yeah. So I already had this set made. I'll handle these two later. On this team, I probably could justify Whirlwind, but do I want 3 attacks, or what? Let's see something. Gertia, 10%. Where's Ultra Gertia? Oh, it is in. Oh. That's actually really funny. The fucking Control F box was behind. I don't know if you can see my cursor, but it was behind this display I have that tells me like how long I've been recording. It lets me like stop. Whatever. I'll try out Whirlwind. I'll probably make another video of me like testing some of these teams, and like this video itself might be 2 videos, depending on how much energy I have, because again, this week has taken a lot out of me. I don't need Earthquake. Oh yeah, Uber's sample teams are out. Which is really cool because now I can call people out on not making their own teams. I wouldn't say a lot of these teams are amazing. Like Skeletor over Ho-Oh's whack as fuck. Webb's physical offense is fine. This team is fine. This team is like Thunderwave, Water Spout, Kyogre, which I really don't like. And it also really doesn't like dealing with Miraidon. This one's pretty good. It's a T-Spikes Eternatus set. This one's fine, and then it has Glamora and Kieran Black, which I think are kind of mid as fuck in Ubers. Yeah. Personally, I think people use Glamora more than it deserves to be used. Like, it really does not fit on as many teams as people seem to think it does. I think I can get away without running Earthquake. Yeah, I'll run Sacred Fire, Brave Bird. And then do I want Recover? Hello. Yeah, I'll do Recover. I mean, Sacred Fire is, 50% is crazy. I mean, we look at Scald, it's like, oh wow, that 30% is a lot. 50%. Dip into 2. No need to do anything too fancy with this set. I think this is fine. I mean, the Ho doesn't need Spinaf anywhere, does it? Not really. I guess it could be nice for like power gems. But even then, it's not like. Let me say something. Arceus. be a lot of stuff to invest. Yeah, even then. 100. Yeah. I think I could just afford to go max here. There's no real point in trying to invest SPDF. I think it's fine. I think we can just make leftovers to get it. Dear God, any way of recovering health. So here, I just realized this team doesn't like taking on Kyogre, does it? I guess it can pass with it. Yeah, it's not all bad. Yeah, no. Because the cover legendaries switch into Kyogre surprisingly well if you get the plays right. I feel like if I took like... I feel pretty good about this. And if it doesn't work out, you know, I can redo the team. You know, I've come to learn that it's like, oh, don't stress too much about like, oh, make sure you counter everything in the team builder. It's like, okay, yeah, you're not gonna beat everything. If something happens in a battle and you feel like you need to change something, you can always change it, right? It's not set in stone. Question is, what moves do I put on Ting Lu? I'm trying to remember what all this gets. Taunt. It outruns Claws Iron naturally, right? Yeah. I could run Taunting, but that's kind of a cool idea. I also did do a Terra for Ho-Oh. Very... Yeah, just make sure I mean, not like these guys get any secondary abilities, but... Yeah. Ruination. I think Taunt could be really cool. And there's, well, I guess then there's the issue of like, you know, not having, well, try this. We work on a Necrozma set. I think I also want leftovers on this. It's really nice for consistently taking on Zacian. I might just borrow from my other team. I really liked this Necrozma set. Yeah, I might just... I'll change the nickname. Something else. But, yeah. I feel like this is pretty good. Does it want to run Earthquake? Really? I don't really think it needs much else. Knock off, you know, Stealth Rock is amazing utility. Like, this set's really good. I mean, again, I can always change it, so. Right now, this is just a rough blueprint of what I want, you know, make changes as I see fit after testing. Yeah. So Ruination, I could probably run, oh, not Earth Power. I could have sworn I pressed the Q key. Taunt Spikes. Yeah, I think Taunt could be really cool. For like, opposing Arceus. Yeah. I like it. Or like if Giratina wants to come in and defog, I can catch it on the switch. And, what Terra type do I want this to be? I could go Ghost. Yeah, Ghost seems fine. I've seen people run like Terra Fairy, Terra Water. I think Ghost is pretty good because that also lets you take on it lets you take on Koraidon and Miraidon at the same time, which is a very, very valuable trait for any mon in this tier. Yeah, very few mons possess that capability. I mean, the closest you're gonna get is like Fairy Arceus, right? And even that doesn't love the prospect of switching into Koraidon's Flare Blitz or Miraidon's Electro Drift, right? Especially the latter. I mean, like Life Orb to a KO's Spidef Arceus Fairy. So, I mean, you really do value being able to handle both at once. The better you can handle that, the better you can push your own game plan. Yeah, I don't want to EV this. I definitely want to go max HP. I was gonna say special attack. I think I don't need that much special defense from a Rhydon. I kind of want to do like a mixed defensive kind of thing. Rhydon. Oh, I don't. I'm not gonna look at that. I like that a lot better. Because I want to be able to also like take stuff from. I can't search it up by the set name. Okay. I can't search up. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Do that. Like that. I don't like that bit. I don't like those numbers. 148? Okay, 112. Wait, no, I don't need to... What am I doing? I don't need to EV for E-Killer. I'm fine against it, honestly. I'm fine. Alright? I'm not worried about that. What am I doing? Anything else I need to EV for? Not really. Yeah. I mean, I like my intricate EVs, but if I don't need to go for them, I won't. Koraidon and Miraidon. $1 million question, which of these guys is going to be Scarf? Probably going to be Miraidon. I don't want to make the item Miraidon. My brain is so fried. I was gonna do this last night, but like I was so just mentally fatigued that I knew I couldn't team build. And I guess right now I can't team build. I don't know, maybe I'm just hallucinating and this team is actually really bad in practice. A Terra Fairy, I like Terra Fairy, Miraidon. Electro Drift, Draco. We'll go Overheat because, you know, pairing it with Koraidon, go Overheat, and then U-turn. Yeah. I like fitting the Volt Switch if I can. It actually KOs Kyogre a lot of the time, but yeah. Go Modest. I guess it bears worth mentioning, you know, if you're if you're not running Scarf, you can go. Well, I mean, a lot of people would argue that you can go speed boosting with Scarf, but like if I don't make this right on Scarf, I don't have to run Adamant. I don't have to do anything. I can make it. I can be cringe. I could be cringe. I could be really cringe. I could be really cringe. And if I want to be extra cringe, substitute. I hate this set. It's so fucking annoying. I mean, with the hazard support, substitute might not be a bad idea. I mean, does this team really struggle to take on the Crossman? Not really. I don't know. Not really. Honestly, I might decide to be a bad person. Flutter main. That's a bulky offense. Yeah, I mean, I like the look of this team. I mean, it's pretty standard, but I think this is the kind of support Flutter main needs. Right? It's got some, it's got potential, right? Kind of like how I saw potential in Chin Pao. Like, I remember being in the calc one night and just being like, oh my god, wait, this Mon actually cleans up so well late game. And like, I saw that potential, I built around it, it worked well. Same thing with Flutter main, right? I need to set a terror type. Just go fire anyway. I'm not using Flare Blitz, but I would like to get burned. Also gets me out of a nice weakness, and fairy weakness. So yeah, I think Terror Fire size. Although you do see some. Fire goes to Fairy Fighting. Terror Fighting ground. See, but like, I mean, has Terror. You can go Terra Fairy. I personally think if you have to go Terra Fairy Koraidon, it's a team building issue. But yeah, I mean, overall, I do like the way this team is organized. I'll probably cut it off here. Make this like YouTube short length. I mean, if you don't know what I'm talking about, just go look at any other video on my channel. You'll see why I'm calling this a YouTube short. Well, I guess like my draft league games are very long because it's just one match. Yeah, this wasn't as long as I mean, this video was mostly me just gloating about the teams I've made, but I guess it bears worth. It bears worth documenting, my thought process on these teams. I guess I didn't really showcase my laddering progress with them, but also I love that this team is like mono Terra Fairy. It's really funny. I mean, hey, it's like one of the best types in the game. Why wouldn't you want it? But yeah. And I mean, next. I mean, I'll build these three later. But yeah, I just had no energy the entire day. Just again because of how my week has gone, but yeah. So I'll stop here. Maybe I'll build some. Maybe I'll finish these three teams up later tonight. especially this one. I want to see what I can do with this team. Yeah. So, yeah, that's going to be it for this YouTube short, YouTube outro. Goodbye. Bye.